I start getting the answers. Let me give another 10, 20 seconds. People watching from YouTube or LinkedIn, please leave your answers in the chat message. Okay, I have few answers. This time I have a few alphabets with me, starting with the B. B stands majority. I do have A. I do have C. So except D, I have all three alphabets are here. Okay, so as I was mentioning earlier, answer comes later. The understanding the concept is more important. Sometimes how our brain works is the moment we choose an answer, our brain starts defending that should be the right answer. The brain says that should be the right answer, okay? But we will come out of that defending mindset and we will listen from different perspective. I have three variety of people here, A, B, and C. Three answers are there. And real answer also will come out. So your brain should think, okay, let's see this perspective also, because it is spoken from PMI perspective, Project Management Institute, which says that nearly 75% of projects could be failing in the world. So we're going to see what are the best approaches which can make us to be successful. Because some of this approach which we discuss here, it is not happening in your company. Since it is not happening in my company, since I have not seen in my career, I will think that is wrong. Human brain works like this. What you see, it look like correct. So now we have to listen to different perspective and our brain has to digest it. Okay, this is also the best way of doing things. We'll see from that perspective. That's a good way of learning. Not here in exam preparation also. When you read any questions, we will give justification in the question answer. Your brain has to think in that direction that, okay, that could be on a different approach. Let's start from the beginning here. I will pull one of them to help me to see what was understanding in the question. Pradeep Kumar Krishnan, I'm seeing your name in the top, number one. You want to help me? What was your key catch term in this question? Any particular line, particular sentence you liked? This is important in the question.
Uh, yeah, Shriram. So I was thinking or assuming from this statement, however, the resource management plan states that RBS should be created and reviewed only at the beginning of the project. So
Ah,
this, I assumed that based on this, that there was a plan which was created where the RBS was not rightly placed. So
okay.
Mm, So that's why I decided to go with we have to update the entire project management plan. So where
Okay.
the RBS can be defined at the right state or the
Okay.
phase. That
Okay.
is
A
my answer.
project management plan will have a plan for scope, which will have a plan for schedule. It can have for the cost. It can have for the rest of all also, right?
Mhm.
So what is your suggestion is when I touch this, it's going to touch everything below this. That's your recommendation, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Okay, thanks for that input. And this person is a new project manager, somebody newly entering. Okay, let's keep it as John. John is a new manager who enters assigned to a global project. In the next few days, the project team must create, they're using the word must here. Okay, one of the key term here, must create a resource breakdown structure for the project. One help from any one of you in this room, when I say resource breakdown structure, what all can be here when they say resource? Human, what else?
Man material machines.
Equipments.
Material,
Equipment.
okay. Equipment. What is the difference between material and equipment?
So material is would be like uh, raw material excipients. Like for example, if I talk about pharma, and equipment could be machinery,
Raw
capital.
material also?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. When we say equipment,
More or
All
like
the
Machinery.
It is more of a tangible thing, asset like physical, which will be like capex will be involved in that.
machinery, or maybe a software license.
Hmm.
Could be. Could be. Maybe just I'm telling that. Um, A raw material could be raw material also, or could be some machines also. That's also possible. Now they are talking about the project team must create a resource breakdown structure for the project. What do you mean by must create, Shri? So if I have a project, the question is, in the project, how much of human needed, how much of material needed, how much of equipment needed? When I say human, in human, I need somebody to do software. I need somebody to do the labor work. I need somebody to do the engineering work. I need to do categorize it. In material, what kind of material? In equipment, what kind of equipment? I have to put this part. This is all for the project. When it can divide into pieces, it's going to be a resource breakdown. By the way, I'll show more details as I move to different slides. But the point here is, however, the resource management plan, the plan which was created earlier, before this new manager joins, there was a plan created. But somebody can question me when this plan get created. Let us talk this as a plan-driven project, because nowhere is mentioned about what kind of model of project it is. Since they mentioned the resource management plan, I will assume it as a plan-driven project. In our class, we use an example of hospital construction, somewhere in Mumbai, somewhere in Amsterdam or New York. For such a kind of a project, when the project starts, they will create something called project management plan. Under project management plan, one of the plan is called resource management plan. I'm yet to show how the resource management plan works, but in the resource management plan, it is stating that in the plan already somebody has written. I don't know who written it, because John recently joined. John is a new guy. Imagine John joined in the month of June, but this plan is there from January. Someone has written that should be created only at the beginning. This is a statement which is going to trigger everything in the question. Only at the beginning of the project. Now, if this is what the plan says, since John came newly, the question is, what should the manager, who is we call John, this guy has to do many things. You have to do many things. But the first question is, what is the first thing you're going to do? In PMI exams or question paper, when I give a question will state something. But when it comes to answer, I mean, the last line of the question could be a trigger for you. A trigger could tell what should be a thinking process. In this last line, it is giving a thinking process. John will do 5-10 items. Okay, I'm not going to ask you what all he will do. I should not think how John will solve the whole problem in the project. That's not the question. What all John will do next 3 days, that's not the question. What is John's first step so that I can get some low-lying fruits? What is the first thing? Whenever they give a question like that, you should be careful enough. More than one answer will be good. I'll repeat myself. When they say that something first, what John has to do or manager has to do first, when they use the word first, what is the next? Which means definitely PMI will have more than one answers, pretty close, pretty good. When you read, yes, that should be done. But think there'll be something in this answer that must be done, and that will be the edge of your answer. When you read exam questions, you should be watchful on understanding who is being targeted. Definitely in this question, we see manager is being targeted. And we have to see the tense of the question. When they say tense of the question, the statement was already created. Project resource management plan was already created. Now you have to go and correct something is wrong there, which has happened in the past. So tense is clear, something has happened. Okay, that is not affecting the project. But the key part here is elimination technique. The elimination technique is one of the technique which helps you or me as a human. We can first remove some answers does not make sense as a first action. You can do second, you can do third, you can totally ignore it. That's a different story. I will not do that as the first one. Okay, I want to go to my office. What is the first thing you will do? Probably take shower and get ready. Come on, Shri. Office going means you have to take a car and drive. For you, that's first. For somebody, take a shower and get ready. For some people, tell them I have to prepare my laptop and computers and things to carry. For some people, tell them swipe the card and get inside the office. So there'll be many, many things, but I have to see what is the closest one which will help me to address the issue. Closest one, not too far away. Now let's go to the elimination part. Okay, let's go to another person. Before go to elimination, I listened to already Pradeep. I will listen to Jagbir Singh. I see you answer A. What is your thoughts when you choose answer A? Why you thought so?
Yeah, so
Hey.
I know I read Shri that he's new to the team, and
Uh-huh.
then the last line, the however, the resource management plan states that the RBS should be
Uh,
created, reviewed only at the beginning. So I think
mm,
this is the only opportunity where the project manager can do this thing, because
uh,
after there'll be no opportunity to review this plan,
uh,
the RBS. So that's why I thought, because this
uh,
is something which is mandatory and to be done in the beginning. That's how I've selected update the resource breakdown structure first,
structure.
with my
Okay.
limited understanding, Shri, because I'm not yet well versed with all these concepts.
Yeah, I
Uh,
know.
when I read the book, I'll get more understanding. But as
Well
of
said.
today, this is what I thought.
Well said. Well said. Because, well said, Jagdeep. Because some of these concepts we never read in the book. Maybe we never read about what is called resource management plan. We may not read resource breakdown structure. This is the first time somebody seeing that. We may not know what is resource management plan. Some of us going with answers by just assumptions. Okay. So I know the situations here. Thanks for the answers. Then you go a little more down here. I have Sudhanshu. Sudhanshu, I see you answer with the C. What is your thought there?
Hello, Shri. Uh,
Yep.
Actually, I read in the Rita book that we, when we need to create a resource breakdown structure, we use the
Ah,
reference as
ah,
a work breakdown structure.
ah,
So I thought that before updating the resource breakdown structure, we should
ah.
update the work breakdown structure.
Okay, but the work breakdown structure is a pictorial representation of what to be done, isn't it?
Yes,
If I take the same hospital example, I will have a hospital as a project. Below that, I will have, let's say, outpatients block. I will have something for child care block. These are two blocks. Under this operation or outpatient block, I will have a waiting room. I will have a surgery room. Now, by updating this structure, how this will resolve the problem statement here? What was your rationale behind that? If anything is there, trying to see from you.
actually, what I thought that in the scope part, we
Ah.
update the work breakdown structure.
Mm-hmm.
And here in question, at the last line, they ask what should the project manager do first.
Ah.
So he
Oh.
cannot directly update the resource breakdown structure. So when we need to update the resource breakdown structure, we need to typically take a work breakdown structure as a reference. So that I thought that answer
Okay.
C will be right.
Okay. I respect your viewpoint there. Good. Thanks for sharing that. Okay, that's a good point. Let's move to one more person. The last answer D, then I'll come to the point. I have two people, Satya and Mahendra. Let me take Satya. The first name comes there. Satya Murthy T. Uh, why you thought D is a good answer for you? If you're on the
Yeah,
mic.
hello, sir. Shri.
Hey,
Yeah, actually, I think the project is already started.
nice.
The new project manager is assigned.
Ah,
So the project, the resource management plan stated RBS should be created only when the project is on the beginning stage. But here again, RB resource breakdown structure is implemented. So I
mm-hmm.
think we need to update the resource management plan.
Plan. Okay. Okay. So if I listen to you, Satya, the problem
Yeah,
statement in this whole question is
they're restricting the RBS so by the resource management plan. So we need to update the resource
ah,
management plan first.
I think you got the core, I believe. The whole problem in this question is someone or this team written down that you should touch the RBS only in the beginning of the project, right?
Yeah,
Which
yeah, yeah.
means here say that the resource management plan states, I think this is what somebody states it. Somebody, who's the somebody, Shri? It could be a collective of people, could be one team member, group of people, everyone agreed for it, that RBS should be created and reviewed only in the beginning. If you do a hospital construction work, if the project is going to happen for
Yeah.
4 years, only in the January, February, March, April, 4 months, I sit and work on a hospital plan. In that plan, it is mentioned that you can create and review how many human, how many material, how many equipment needed only in the beginning. That's a problem. Do you see that as a problem, Satya? Or anyone in this room? You see that?
Yeah.
But why we
Yeah.
see as a problem? Why
Maybe.
it's a hospital, right? I know it's a 4 years project. I know it's a 5 floors building. Why can't you do that
Maybe if
once?
any extra resources.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Maybe if any extra resources needed means we need to require.
So 1 year from now, if I need more resource, my plan don't support it. That's a
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Good point, Satya. I'll keep it that. And I listen to Dharnesh who put the hands up there. Go ahead, Dharnesh.
Shri, I'll go with the updating the RBS first because I think if we go with a process mapping visualization, that's what I just went through.
Okay.
The output of estimate activity is RBS. Okay. So keeping that in place, estimate activity. Okay, estimate activity, of course, which comes under the resource management plan, wherein which the resource management plan is a collective one among the collective plan of project management plan. So I think it's a bottom up approach that has to be done when the question is asking for what the PM do first. I think I'll go with the resource breakdown structure, updating that one first.
Okay, okay. If I listen from you, I clearly get that. Shri, if the plan says you cannot or you should create only the beginning of the project, but still, I will go and touch the structure. It look like I will let me violate. Let me keep changing the structure. Is it a manager's focus area, or manager has to set a process clearly so that even second year, third year, fourth year of the project, still they can keep updating the content? What should be the approach for the manager? Because we are in leadership now. I'm just challenging. You may be right. I'm just trying to challenging you.
Okay, not sure clearly on this.
Yeah, I think with that plan, D makes sense.
Yeah.
Tricky question, tricky question. But you all in this room recognize that I should keep a plan flexible so that 6 months from now, 8 months from now, 3 years from now, there could be new resource need come up in a project. Can we say like that? Is it possible?
Yeah,
If it is possible, then why do we call it as a plan-driven project? We are calling as a plan-driven project. We are calling as we know everything very well. We plan it properly. It doesn't look contradicting what we discuss here. I'm trying to challenge each other. I know the answers, but I'm trying to see what is your thoughts there.
In these cases, we will do it by change management, which cannot
There you go.
also be a part of the plan driven.
There you go. There you go. In fact, our time management and our cost management in the project highly depend on these resource parameter. Take a slight pause for 2 seconds and think from your company perspective. Do you think your time and your money of your project is controlled by these resources availability? You see that? When I say resource availability, it could be human, material, equipment, whatever industry you work. I'm not talking anything for construction. It can even go for any industry where you don't go for construction. You do work with computers. Still, there are license cost, there are material cost, human available cost, their timeline. So when we see a work happening, we look out on a resource calendar, we look out on resource breakdown structure. If you are new to the PMP classes, we will learn as class moves on. But this question through which what we have to bring out as an answer is, if I'm joining, if you are a John, you join the new company, and in the resource management plan, it states that you should touch it only in the plan, then first thing probably you will call every group team members and understand why it is set like this, which means what was the rationale or a justification that you want to do only in the beginning. Maybe you get some answers, but still what you will do as John, as a manager is, guys, this is a hospital project, this is a software project which is going to happen for 3 years or 4 years. You cannot change only once. You have to do many more times in the system. So you will tell that let us update the plan which was not rightly mentioned. You're going to change the plan, which means update the resource management plan so that going forward your structure can be updated accordingly. Ooh, God, man.